Hello, everybody, and welcome to the TARDIS Zone Talks. We are here to talk about Jodie Whittaker yet again, because even though at the end of this week she is leaving the show completely, she's decided to talk about things of the past. So let's do that. Let's do that indeed. Because already I faced a bit of a backlash on Twitter for what I said. So let's do this stream and let's explain why I have little sympathy for Jodie Whittaker. So Jodie Whittaker is saying that she was terrified over the backlash of her casting as the first female doctor, and it left her terrified. Her supporters are now coming out and making the claim that death threats were sent. It's funny though, in the 5 years that we've been doing this and in the fandom, I never heard anybody come out or show evidence of any death threats towards Jodie Whittaker, nor has the BBC said anything about death threats towards Jodie Whittaker, or indeed herself when she has done interviews. She could have exposed all of this. So why is she talking now? Well, she knows her era is coming to an end, and she wants to G up our fans one last time to remind everybody that there was a backlash towards her casting. But what she's actually forgetting to remind all of these fans is this. As soon as you got the job, you decided that you were going to say that the fandom was all wrong and that the show was no longer for the white male gaze, number one. Then you start coming out with nonsense saying that no little girl could look up to the doctor because the doctor was male, and now that there was a female doctor, that women could look up to the doctor. All lies, of course, because we've had many female fans in this fandom before she came along, and a lot of them cosplayed as the male doctors, right? Then on top of that, then she decided that she was going to mock fans even further by doing a stylist video, right? Mocking fans because of her casting. Now, at the same time, the media was also helping in this cause, because anybody that came out and criticised the new female doctor was sexist. You could criticise all the male doctors all you want, but as soon as we got a female doctor, it was sexist. So the media added on to it as well. Jodie Whittaker did not help herself with these things that she did. And over the years, she's come out with utter and complete nonsense about her gender and about being gender neutral and all of this other rubbish, and saying that, that the fandom is toxic. Is she going to talk about the fact that her fans have sent all of us, including me, which I've shown you on this channel over the last 5 years? She wants to talk about death threats. Okay, fair enough. Let's talk about death threats. Let's talk about your fans. Some that you've even been photographed with, right? Some that you've even been photographed with. When you did that Comic-Con and you had all your female fans standing beside you, and there was a couple of blokes in there as well, right? Several of them in those photographs have engaged in harassment, the bullying of women offline. One of them in particular, who's in the photograph, is a female, and she's gone around and accused men of inappropriate things in the fandom, which is not true, and tried to target me and take me down. She made claims that she went to the police. No such thing ever happened. She never provided any evidence, and we actually showed her that it was people that she knew that were attacking her, not me. She accused me of putting her head onto porn images. I can't even Photoshop. Everybody that knows me here knows I can't do any of that. I can hardly run this channel. Okay? And apparently I'm some genius with Photoshop and I could do all of this nonsense. Right? No such thing happened. Right? She said she went to the police and the police officer gave her a number. Right? She never provided a reference case number because she would have got one. When she was questioned about that, then she disappeared off the face of the planet, right? And apparently now she's running an account with someone else called Safe Space Who, right? And this is another account that Jodie Whittaker has openly, and the Doctor Who accounts have openly supported. And several of those people that are in that photograph have bullied, harassed, and sent death threats. So you want to talk about death threats, Jodie? Yeah, let's talk about the death threats sent from your fans, right? Your supporters. The ones that have gone after me for having an opinion about a TV show and about you as the Doctor. Right, so let's get real here. Right, and if there was death threats sent to you, I will say this. If there was death threats sent, absolutely disgusting. I know how it feels. Right, but for people saying to me, well, she was getting death threats, she couldn't walk around London. We literally seen her walk around London. Right, with the cup of coffee in her hand, fans coming up to her, all you nutcases asking for her autograph. Right, she can walk around London. Right, and I doubt very much that she has been sent death threats. Personally, I think this is another attempt by Jodie Whittaker because she knows it's the last episode. She's trying to drum up support and she's trying to remind her fandom of the way we all went on, apparently. Right? Remember, people didn't like me Doctor because of me gender. Remember, I got some poor woman. Feel sorry for me. No, won't feel sorry. I have zero sympathy, right, for any backlash that you got, right? Obviously, I draw the line at threats, but you've never said anything beforehand about death threats, right? The BBC have never said anything about death threats and told the fandom to leave it out and make a statement. And if there was death threats and the BBC failed to actually make a statement, well, then that's on them, right? Because that's disgusting. They should have backed you up then, right? But don't be fucking playing the victim here, right? When you did all of this yourself, right? I'm not saying, as I said, I want to make very clear, death threats is crossing the line. Absolutely. But I've seen no evidence of that. So until I see evidence of that, I'm going to say, well, I haven't seen it, so it doesn't exist. Now, if anybody out there that's a Jodie Whittaker supporter want to show me direct threats to Jodie Whittaker, right, that have been sent to Jodie Whittaker, right? That have been sent to Jodie Whittaker, then by all means, show the fandom. Show the fandom, right? Because I can tell you now, Lee is in the chat there, and there's a couple of others in the chat. We can show you the evidence of the death threat sent against us. I've got several videos actually up on YouTube of a 2,000 hate mob coming after me. Right? Along with others, plenty of evidence of death threats. I was sent beheadings. I've been sent pictures of porn images. Disgusting porn, by the way. Not your normal run-of-the-mill variety porn. Torture shit and all of that. Right? I've been sent death threats. I've been told to die of COVID. I've been told to die in a car crash. I hope you don't wake up in your sleep and all of this. All because I didn't like a female doctor and now she wants to come out and play the victim. At the end of the day, if Jodie Whittaker had conducted herself in a decent manner towards fandom, would the backlash been as bad as it was? Absolutely not. And I do actually believe that the backlash towards her would not have been as bad. But when you have statements coming out of the showrunner's mouth that'll be a female doctor and it's going to be about female empowerment, and then you have your woman coming out then with the white male gaze and saying little girls can't look up to a male figure, and then you got Piers Wenger then bashing Peter Capaldi. Of course there was a backlash. Of course there was a backlash. Because they created it. Because that's exactly what they wanted. Oh, look at these bigots, racists, sexists. Look at them all lose their head. It was part of the plan. Right? Because this is what they do. Right? They make it so fans like us who do not agree with the gender swap and didn't agree in the direction of the show have targets on their back. Right? It was vindictive, and that's why I have no fucking sympathy for her. She can come out crying now all she wants. I don't care. The best thing she could do is actually shut her mouth now. You're done. Jodie Whittaker says rage. Well, here we go. Jodie Whittaker says rage over her Doctor Who casting was terrifying. And the article's in the link description so you can read it, but I'm not reading all of this because I just wanted to come on and tell her that she's talking out of her arse. The actor opened up about the negative backlash after her casting was announced. Yeah, but what happened after a casting was announced? You went and you did magazine interviews. You went and did videos. You seem to be forgetting all of that, right? You played your part in this backlash, right? And the fact that you want to play the victim like your woman Frost because G4 folded, right? She doesn't want to take responsibility for that. It was her fault. You shouldn't have come out with your fucking nonsense about sexism in gaming, you little fucking weirdo, right? And because of her, loads of people lost their jobs. And now you got this one now. Seems to be a thing with all of these female leads, doesn't it? They all have to come out and play the victim. Oh, we're strong, independent women. Well, act like it. Act like it. Strong and independent, me arse. We're gonna cry about everything. So she said during the chat with Radio Times, Whittaker opened up. Remember, she did leave the country though. When the first episode dropped, she wasn't actually in the country. But she never mentioned anything about death threats then. This is the thing that I'm talking about. Like, that was the time to tell the fandom that she had received death threats and that's why she left the country. But she did actually leave the country when the first episode dropped because the coward wouldn't stay to see the reaction. So she said it was terrifying. No bras in the TARDIS, she joked before adding, come on, what's your argument? I'm playing an alien. No, you're not. Right? Well, you're kind of playing, yeah, you are playing an alien, but the alien happens to be, for over half a century, a man. Okay? So, yeah, no bras in the TARDIS, especially the lead character. Right? I don't care about the companions. They can leave bras all over the place all they want. That's none of my business. Right? But no, sorry. This casting of Jodie Whittaker in this era has reaffirmed my belief that women are wrong for Doctor Who in the main role as playing the Doctor. Seriously, she's actually convinced me even more because she was that bad. Now, it's not all her fault. I've made it very clear, which the J-Bots and the Whittaker fans keep forgetting, that I keep saying that Chibnall is mostly responsible because he's the one that cast, but they just keep focusing on the fact that I give out about Whittaker. No, Chibnall's is just as much responsible, if not more responsible, because he cast her. There's a fine line between the hilarity of it all and the fact that it was terrifying that a woman being given a particular job can cause so much rage. It's a tiny vial of rage, of course, but the anger, the negativity are always the loudest. No, it wasn't. See, that's where you are wrong. You're saying that it was small. It wasn't. It was most of the fucking British public and the fandom. Right? Listen, you've been shielded. You don't know, right? I'm telling you, right? All of this fandom did not want a woman playing the Doctor because it made no fucking sense to the fucking character's fucking development. So people see, but still again though, she doesn't say anything about threats here. All she's saying is that it was terrifying because of the reaction and what people were saying, but she doesn't mention any threats. Right? So where are these Whittaker fans getting the threats from? Because I thought I'd be reading here, right, in this article, there'd be threats. So come on, show me this evidence of actual direct contact between Whittaker and a fan where a fan threatened Whittaker. There is none. There is none because the woman's not even on social media. So how can you make the claim that the woman was threatened? Now, if some gobshite on Twitter or on social media or video made threatening statements against her, yeah, that's online anyway. That's for people to deal with. But they didn't go directly to Whittaker and threaten her, right? I got people directly coming to me and threatening me, right? Sending me messages, right, directly. right? There's a big difference to what Jodie received. So I'm sorry, I don't have any sympathy, right? Because if you live through what I've lived through the last 5 years, all for having an opinion on this era, and remember, that's why I've been sent death threats, because I didn't like a female doctor and I didn't like the direction the show was going in. So if you think that's sane behavior, sending death threats, pictures of beheadings, dirty porn, attacking me wife, attacking me friends, if you think that's all justified because I made some bad criticism or comments about a TV show, criticisms that you can't handle, well, I'm sorry, that's insane to me. You are not sane. None of you are sane. Right? But again, before she leaves, she wants to store the pot yet again. Well, store away, sweetheart, because I can tell you on the night that you regenerate, if you do even regenerate, because you fucked up the show so bad like your boss that we don't know what's happening. But on Sunday night, you're officially gone from this show and we won't have to listen to any of your nonsense anymore because we can refuse to do so. And I hope you never come back to this show. I hope you're banned. I really do. You have been the most toxic person, actor, actress to take over this role. And the damage that you've done personally, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. But you are facilitated and helped by certain accounts out there and the media. And don't worry, we haven't forgotten those people either. Because if they think they can all step back into the fandom now and start being nice, they're going to be reminded how horrible shits they were for the last 5 years. And how the media, along with certain accounts out there, put targets on my back and others for speaking up and speaking the truth about this era. And we've been vindicated because the ratings and everything else has played out. We've been vindicated, right? You may have won a couple of battles here and there, but we won the culture war. She's gone. She's gone. And you're lucky she's gone, because I could tell you now, if RTD hadn't stepped in, right, this show was being canned. So you're lucky she doesn't have that embarrassment. You're lucky she's been saved from that embarrassment by RTD. And the same goes for Chris Chibnall too, right? They've been saved from an embarrassing situation because RTD has come in and has decided that he's going to take the reins and try save this show, right? The reality was this show was getting canned under these people, right? So you keep saying she was the best ever and he was the best showrunner and whatever you want to fucking say. The reality and the truth of it all is completely different to what you have in your heads, right? And it's not just fans. You keep saying, oh, the fans on Twitter, don't listen to them. Well, listen to the British fucking public. From 11 million viewers in the very first episode to just under 2 million for the last episode. So tell me where those 9 million people have gone, or 10 million people have gone. They gone on a holiday. Are they going to watch Doctor Who like in a couple of years' time with Jodie Whittaker? You could say all you want about TV habits changing and all of that bollocks, right? But if you add up the iPlayer views along with the live views, this era is completely fucking down compared to the rest. And that's even down to the rest that didn't even have iPlayer views. So don't even go there, right? This whole myth that this era was absolutely fantastic is bullshit. And she was responsible just along with our showrunner boss. And you know what? I don't care if she plays the victim. She nearly destroyed a 50-year-old franchise all because she wanted to fucking further her ideology, right? There was nothing wrong with Doctor Who. Doctor Who didn't need to pander to women because Doctor Who already had female fans, right? And if you ask the majority of those female fans, and I'm not talking about the ones on Twitter, right? None of them wanted to be pandered to. Right? It's the same with all of these race swap roles. Black people are telling you they don't want to be pandered to. You're not listening. Same with LGBTQ plus, right? When you change those straight characters to those kind of characters, that community is telling you, well, we don't want to be pandered to, but you're still not listening. And then they wonder why all of these things fail and flop. Listen to your fucking audience. Listen to your consumer. When they're telling you that you're fundamentally changing a character, you listen. You listen. Now, I wasn't going to talk about her or Chris, but this week the two of them have come out with utter nonsense. And I'm not staying silent on this, right? The sooner that woman goes, she's a bad penny. She's a bad penny. She's been the worst thing to happen to this fandom in a long, long time. And along with her boss as well. Absolutely disgraceful. And she's coming out with this nonsense again because she wants to rile her fandom up, because they'll be all reacting on Twitter now, won't they? They'll be all tagged, because I've gotten it now. I've got the bots now coming onto my account now, attacking me. It's my fault. It's my fault. Don't be so fucking ridiculous. The only one that's at fault here is Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall, and the media, and those certain Twitter accounts out there that have been pushing this agenda from day one. They're responsible. And all of you people that supported this era too, right, are responsible. And I'm partly responsible because I watched the fucking thing. That's my sin. I watched it. And I shouldn't have watched it. But I was a Doctor Who fan and I watched it. But that's my sin. I should never have watched this. Right? But I did. Right? So I'm responsible too. She just had to open her mouth, didn't she, man? She just can't help herself. She just couldn't leave quietly. She had to say one more thing. Oh, remember the backlash? I was terrified. I just want to remind you before I leave. I'm terrified. She was walking around fucking London. Apparently she's being sent death threats, which the article doesn't mention, but our fans are saying that. But yeah, she's walking around London with a cup of coffee in her hand when they were off filming Doctor Who somewhere else. You remember during the COVID? She was sick or something, or she needed to go home and see her husband or whatever it was. And she took a break. And she was there walking around London without a care in the fucking world. Don't be giving me your bollocks that she was fearing for her life as well, you Whittaker fans. Right? Or J-bots, sorry. Right? No way. Right? No way. Absolutely no way. Right? I've been sent death threats left, right, and centre for these last 5 years. I've even shown them and highlighted them on this channel. We've done streams. We put videos together and I've thrown them up. I can show everything that I've been sent over the last 5 years. I guarantee you Jodie can show you nothing. She's not on social media. Right? She's not on social media. So nobody threatened Jodie Whittaker directly. And as I said, if someone did online, that's absolutely disgusting and those people should be held account, right? But I have no sympathy because her fans have been harassing and sending me death threats the last 5 years. So if she wants to talk about she wants to talk about how fans behaved, we'll talk about your own fans. Because as I said, that photograph of that Comic-Con, I could throw that up and show you exactly who harassed me in this fandom. And there's a couple of people in the chat can point out a couple of people that were also in that photograph that harassed them. That's the people she pandered to. Even people in some Facebook groups having a go at me, so her getting death threats and all of this, blah, blah, blah. She has no, so you're saying she doesn't have a right to complain? No, she doesn't. She doesn't, because she never brought this up before. And as I said, unless someone has directly threatened her, threats online should be taken seriously. As I said, threats online should be taken seriously and those people should be held responsible. But nobody has threatened Jodie Whittaker directly because she's not on social media. Unless it was people that she knew. Right? So, I mean, that's the reality of the situation. She's not online. So how could she be sent death threats? I've been sent death threats. All in her name. Because people want to defend their honor. So the best way is send death threats. Oh, let's push someone's wife to the brink of suicide that she needs to go to the hospital. Yeah, let's do that as fans. All because Noel doesn't like Jodie as the Doctor, and doesn't like this version of Doctor Who, so we should destroy his life. We should make false allegations about him. We should threaten his friends. We should bully his wife until she's bullied so much she has to go into hospital. Yeah, Jodie, that was all done in your name. Would you like to come out and make a statement about that? Would you? No, because like all you actresses, like the actress out of She-Hulk that thought she could fucking pigeon me, right? The bottom line is, you make yous our comments and then you run like the cowards that yous are. And especially when yous are pulled up on it, then yous ignore those comments, right? Now, nobody sent me any evidence of any direct threats made to Jodie Whittaker, right? And as I said, if there is any online, those people should be reported. And I would say to people, if you do see any of those, report them, because that shouldn't be allowed, because it's giving the rest of us a bad name in all reality, right? And we don't want that, right? We get a bad rep enough as it is. So yeah, if that is happening, which I've never seen, but if it is happening, report it straight away, ASAP. But I'm sick and tired of this woman now, right? People call me sexist. Listen, I love loads of women, and I don't mean that I mean I love me wife, but I love women. I think they're a very complicated people, but I get on better with women than I do with blokes. Always have, always have. I've always felt a connection towards women more, right? And that's just me anyway, right? But women like Jodie Whittaker just give women overall a bad name, right? These feminists, right? They just need to shut up. I mean, I kind of knew deep down with all the stuff that Chip's been saying about her being the greatest, that Jodie eventually was going to come out and say something stupid. And what did I tell you? I said I'll be back, because they didn't say anything stupid yesterday, so that's why we didn't stream yesterday, right? And I was sitting here all prepared, maybe not streaming tonight because there was nothing coming out, and then all of a sudden, Jodie Whittaker decides to open her mouth. Now, I've ranted for 33 minutes here. Well, not ranted. I think I've dismissed the whole argument, to be quite honest with you. When she wants to acknowledge the fact that her fans were sending death threats to all of us, then she shows me the evidence of her getting direct death threats, and then I'll call it out. And I'll ask for those people to be charged and arrested, because that's absolutely disgusting. You don't send threats to anybody. But as we've never seen it, and as she's never, even when she left the country, when the first episode dropped, she never said she was leaving because she was receiving death threats. See, this is what I have a problem with. She's only coming out and saying it now. Why didn't she say it during the whole tenure, right? So the BBC could make a comment and a statement and say it's bang out of order, and call fans fucking out for doing it. And I would agree, I'd call them out as well. Don't be sending her death threats, right? You mightn't like her in the role, but don't be sending her death threats. I would have, right? But nothing. She decides to drop it now with how many days to go? It's a publicity stunt anyway, right? How many days? What's the 19th of October? So 4 days to go. It's a publicity stunt, right? Simple as fucking that. I'll call it what it is. That's exactly what it is. She needs to drum up some fucking attention. So, oh, remember, I was bullied and harassed because of my gender. You be outraged. And now they're all bleeding outraged on Twitter. So job done, Jodie. Well done. And thanks very much for putting a target on me back, because they're all coming towards people like me that didn't like the era. So I hope you're proud of the fact that I'm probably going to be sent a load of death threats now later. Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Well done for coming out with that nonsense. Anyway, if anybody would like to come on, now we're not staying on long because there is a Manchester United match and stuff. So I'll go for another hour, right? Bang on, another hour. So if I see Gobby's in the chat, I see Queen Charlotte is in the chat, and I see Problem Being is in the chat actually. If you three guys would like to come on, and give me your opinion on this latest fucking nonsense. I mean, look, I'm just sick and tired of her. I mean, as I said, we blokes aren't perfect. We blokes throughout history have made mistakes, right? But me personally, I've never made a mistake. I've never done anything to a woman that would be considered toxic or anything like that. I've always treated women with respect because that's how I was brought up. But I cannot respect a woman who the first thing that comes out of our mouth is to attack all our male fandom. Right? Remember, she came into a fandom, right? Yeah, there was a backlash, and there was always going to be a backlash against her casting. But I genuinely believe, now, maybe I'll ask the panel this, but I genuinely believe if she had to come in with the right attitude, right, and put fans' minds at ease about her gender rather than complain that, well, the show was wrong and needed to change, she would have had a different reaction. All right, so Charlotte is eating, so she won't be able to come on. That's fair enough. Go and enjoy your food. I had a lovely bit of chicken, so I already had my dinner early. I did Cheryl's dinner earlier, and then I had mine a little bit later on because my stomach was still a bit ropey. I don't mean ropey in the way that you need to go to the toilet. I just mean it's just one of those, when you wake up and you're not hungry yet, but you still feel a bit, but not really, if I'm making any fucking sense. Right, so I think we've got Probby and Lee coming on. So I've sent Gobby and Lee. Jesus Christ. Do you know what I've been noticing that lately? I think I need to go and get me head examined. Because I'm even mispronouncing. See, I'm doing it again. I'm even mispronouncing some words. Jesus, I better not have fucking. That's it. That's it, Lee. You're right. Sunday is coming, and then after that, who cares? Exactly. We won't have to listen to our nonsense after that. We won't have to listen to any of our nonsense after that. Right? She's an absolute disgrace. I know exactly what she's doing with that interview. Right? And it's absolutely disgraceful. Links are sent to the two in the chat. If anybody else wants to come on, let me know in the chat now because I'm keeping an eye on the chat there. We mightn't go for the full hour because we'll get everything off our chest quick enough. I'm pretty sure of that. Well, I've gotten everything off my chest. I'm pretty sure the lads will have their say, and then that'll be it. Really, we don't have to keep going into this. But we got one guest in the chat, so we'll wait for our other guest to pop in. I've sent the emails. We got Chris in the chat as well. We got Sadako24 also in the chat. As I said, Queen Charlotte is also there as well. We got Lee Halford in the chat. Also, yeah, it's nice to see you. We got Rachel in the chat. Nice to see you. Who else have we got? We got Garbage in the chat. Do you feel the power? Did I mention Rachel? I think I did, but we got Rachel in the chat as well. We got Gubby, Queen Charlotte, the usual suspects. I don't want to forget anybody, but Lindsay is in the chat as well. Tiggy. Love that name. Anytime I see it, it reminds me of Buck Rogers for some weird reason. Don't ask me. It just does. Yeah, I think we've got everybody. Oh, we got Phil, 82245X. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of numbers. Actually, a lot of numbers. I'm probably missing something there, but it's probably gone way over my head. But anyway, Kip Ellis is also in the... And looks like Kip has a new avatar too. Nice one. We got the 99 Doctor in the chat as well. Well, there's more than fucking 99 doctors now. I just have to laugh. Anyway, let's bring on our guests because this is going to be fun. If anything, it's going to be fun. We have fun when we bring these two lads on, so it's going to be fun anyway. And we're going to take the piss now for the next. So if you're offended by anybody ripping the piss out of what Whittaker has to say, I would say tune out right now. That Lee is one of our guests has decided to tune out himself. It was too much for Lee to handle. But anyway, let's bring him on. It's the one and only Gobby Guy. No, let's do that again. Okay, let's do that again. It's the one and only Gobby Guy. Computer is actually...
Yay! Yeah, thanks for inviting me on and then just ignoring me and leaving me sat in the corner. That's very nice of you. Thanks.
Well, I did bring you on. First. I brought you on over the Queen, who's going to start moaning now at me for bringing you on first.
Wow. It's all right.
We got warped eyebrow too in the chat as well. Haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you. And here he is. It's Mr. Bean himself.
Yay!
Hey! Hello!
So lads, obviously, Jodie Whittaker's decided to remind the fandom on how she felt when she was first cast in the role. I just want to ask this because I might have a different take on it. Obviously, you have heard what I've had to say about it, and you might have a different take on it, but
not really. Not really.
For me, I just have no sympathy for her because of the way it was all done with the media orchestrating along with those social media accounts, as I said, and then with the stuff that she was coming out with. Should she the question that maybe someone should have asked her was, well, why are you surprised? You know what I mean? I don't get how she could come out with all of that and not expect
willful ignorance,
a backlash, or either it was people say, "I'll be fine." Their team around her as well has a lot to talk. But what do you think of this? That it was terrifying to her, this backlash.
Was it really? Really was it? I don't. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. It's come out as it's come out just because of what's happening in a few days' time. It's another publicity stunt. It's another feel sorry for me. I ain't got the time of day. Proves evidence, provide the evidence, and show that happened, and we will all, I think everybody, will condemn it universally.
Absolutely.
There is nothing. No one in this world deserves a death threat about anything, especially a TV program. But she's done it on purpose because I think that they're seeing the socials. They know it's all kicking off again, and the same people are out again, trashing it and attacking everybody, and they're just tapping into it just to have that last little stab.
It's to have that last little bit.
Little dig.
And also to try drum up, and as you said as well, publicity stunt.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is.
With 4 days to go, it's the drum up support because she knows that her fandom is going to react to that interview, and then anybody that they see, and I'm assuming that it's happened to you as well because already I have people coming onto my account giving me stick. Well, it's not my fault. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not my fault. If she got any death threats, I'll say what Gobby said.
They're wrong. Anyone would say it's
wrong. And I would say if you have seen any of that out there and you've seen people making videos threatening her, report them.
Where?
That's the thing. That's the thing.
She's not on social media.
Exactly.
Where are these? Unless she's had like handwritten letters or bits of bloody cut out letters from newspapers stuck on with Pritt stickers.
Oh, I like the old.
Good old days.
Or malicious phone calls, and that's surely a matter for the police to deal with, not us.
Exactly. No.
The only reason this has been made public is to lay more blame on the fans. Yeah, and it's not okay. Where was her or the rest of the BBC, Chibnall and co and all that lot? Where were they when we were complaining about death threats levied at us for the last 5 years?
Exactly.
Death threats, abuse. Your wife was viciously attacked.
She ended up in hospital because of all of that. She couldn't hack it.
Where's where's our article in any of these magazines or websites? Nowhere, right? We've seen these elitist scumbags who are complaining, oh, woe is me. You know, she got paid the same as
Peter
Capaldi, and she did half
the
job, less work, and badly. And if it was performance-based, she shouldn't even be getting a penny, let alone anything else. And frankly, I have no sympathy with these bunch of people in their highfalutin ivory towers complaining about this, that, and the other, and then having their little attack dogs running around doing the work for them. You know, she knows she can wave her hand, and these little shit gobshites will go around attacking people. And I don't see how this is, you know, any way of promoting your trash episode that's coming up. It just seems really rather counterintuitive. These people will never learn. We didn't fail. You did. And stop blaming it on the fans. The fans are fucking sick of it. We've seen it in absolutely every single franchise that's going that's been ruined by these morons. It's their failure because they're the ones who are incompetent. And I'm sorry, your casting was done as stunt casting. It was done as a political statement. You made that clear with the glass ceiling. You made that clear with the stupid bloody text of the fans who texted in to say, I'm not sure about,
video. The stylist video.
And her response, she did nothing to engage herself with the fans. All these years that she had an opportunity to appear at conventions and things, minus of course the situation with the lockdowns, she didn't. Right? They locked her away. No engagement. The one time she engaged was at the very end, where a bunch of Jodie Whittaker knockoffs turned up, all dressing like her, taking the center stage. All 5 of them, or like, okay, there was about 200 of them.
Yeah, and we could have
everyone else,
and we could identify in that photograph several people who have bullied 2 women off particular offline, and I won't mention their names because obviously one of them in particular doesn't want their name being mentioned again. But the other one that we've had was recently on the panel. She's not around now at the moment, but you all know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, and these are also the same people who've given threats and abuse to John Barrowman and Noel Clark for the last few years.
There was
who are they to complain about threats and attacks and all this nonsense? Like they give
and there was also a girl in that photograph that also was responsible for Tom Vance's cancellation, whether you agree with it or not. But then she turned her attention on me, as you all know. She tried to accuse me of putting her face onto porn images. And she made that, Lee, you were there for the whole lot. I mean, she made that accusation every year.
I was accused as well. I was accused of that as well.
Right.
You know, so who is it? Is it you or me?
That's the thing, though. But we showed her a trail of evidence that showed it was actually people that she was actually pandering to, but she refused. Then she made the claim that she went to the police. So then when Lee and others like myself called her out and says, well, okay, if you went to the police, you'd have a file report. You'd have a reference number.
Crime number.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Right. Then she made out that she got the police officer's number. I said, well, the police officer wouldn't have gave you a number because that's against their rules and they'd actually get fired for that. But she made all of these outrageous claims. Now, apparently she's running this group on an account on Twitter called Safe Space. The same site that engaged in the dogpiling of that person that we were talking about just a couple of minutes ago, that female fan, right? So,
and
she's supposed to be running that now, right? So, like, that's the people that BBC and Whittaker and the Radio Times, because you see that articles, they always reference these accounts. The media are just as responsible. The media, her fans, that now when I mean her fans, I mean the J-bots, because she has genuine fans that haven't engaged in any of that nonsense, and let's make that clear, right? But the J-bots and the Tassie stands, right? They've went on a mission for the past 5 years. You've heard it here, sent not only to me, but to other people in this chat, people that used to be in this community that are no longer here because of it. It's absolutely disgraceful. And yes, she wants to bang on about, and Lee is right. Where's the article? Where's her articles? Where's the articles to say that horror fans have
There are
treated this
articles
fandom like
calling
shit?
us bigots and fascists and racists and sexists and homophobes and all the nonsense. You know, those are the only articles we ever get, or we're completely ignored and brushed under the carpet. And I really do hope one day there is a book written about all this, a fair one, you know, because it does need to be told. You know, the whole issue, this is not just an isolated issue. It started really with Star Wars. It came to Doctor Who, and then it went on to just about every other franchise going, Marvel, you name it. And enough is enough. And these elites who live in their ivory towers, looking down their little noses at us, they could have stepped in at any point. The BBC knew full well what was going on in this fandom, and they tacitly supported these people because they share their political viewpoints. And to hell with everyone else. And we've you know, as I said many times on this platform, that the first time I came out and just criticized, I didn't swear, I wasn't abusive, I just listed out things I found problems with within the first 5 episodes of series 11, and I was drummed out of a Doctor Who group. I was chased into my DMs. I was told to die of cancer numerous times. That was my first experience of dealing with these people. That's how we all found each other, because we were drummed out just simply for having an opinion counter to the doctrine of these extremists who have taken over the fandom, squatted and colonized it in their droves. And, you know, we've been 5 years on now and experiencing pretty much daily almost abuse, especially in the first 2 to 3 years. I mean, it's, you know, I mean, it's sort of semi calmed down, but it sort of calmed down mostly between seasons, didn't it, really?
Yeah.
So they only seem interested in these issues when it suits them, when it's, you know, when it's eyes on Whittaker time, you know, and it's just been a complete shit show for the last 5 years. I'm sick to my hind teeth with this now. I just wish they'd fuck off now, because it's been non-stop. And these people don't ever accept any accountability. These people always talk about accountability, right?
No.
But they never take any when it's them. Safe space for Doctor Who. Safe space for whom exactly? Not for anyone who doesn't share your incredibly obtuse
views and opinions. Yeah,
it's so narrow-minded, and they only see things in black and white. Now, these people who are complaining about, Jodie Whittaker's been getting death threats, and show us. And you people have engaged in abusive and threatening behavior en masse, right? You accuse Noel and me and so on and so forth as being bullies. Yet it's us, individuals, who are constantly having to be berated by 10, 20, 30 people at a time. Remember your little stupid group, which was like, I don't know, what was it, 10,000 of you? I can't remember how many. It was ridiculous
2,000.
number of people. Okay, 2,000. Okay, exaggerate. But it was a ton of you. And all you ever did was spit poison at us. All the time, vilifying us and labeling us not my doctors and all this other nonsense, just to dehumanize us and to cast us out and to squat the fandom and drive out fans of the show. Fans of the show supported this show for over 40 years in some cases. You know, people who intrinsically understand and know this show and have supported it, even when it was off air for 16 years, we were there. And you treated us like utter shit. And I don't particularly care personally about any of the personal abuses and attacks. What I hate is how you don't acknowledge your part in any of it.
Exactly.
And
they never do.
You sit there in sanctimony and sitting there in judgment over everybody, and you think that you're pure as the driven snow. Well, you're not. And the BBC at any point could have stepped in and stopped all this bullying and harassment and all this nonsense, but they didn't. All they did was uphold you and use it as examples of the wonderful fandom. You know, the stupid song that you all sang at the lockdown and all this other stuff. It was all you guys, because you muscled everyone else out, because it was all about you, your narcissism, in your control, in your desire to control other people, to control this fandom, to control the show, to dictate where the show even went. The whole Phasmin thing was your design. And it's just unreal, the level of power and abuse that you've gotten away with for the last 5 years. And for you now to suddenly start kicking up more dirt because your bloody goddess has come out and said some bullshit about death threats, even though she's not on social media, or that she felt terrified with her cast. Well, I'm sorry, don't take the job if you think you're not fit for it. And if you did get abuse, that's not good show either. But you have to understand, your casting was incredibly divisive. And your actual effort into making that role your own never came to pass. You failed. You own that. Not us. You failed. You and your team that supported you, who cast you, failed you as well. Okay? So don't blame the fans. The fans are sick to fuck of it. We can't wait to see you go. You've been divisive. You've not ingratiated yourself in any way with the fandom. You could have said things right from the start that would have helped you ease yourself into the role. Like Shooty's done.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, like Shooty's done. Shooty's saying all the right things and everybody likes it. That's all it needs to be done. Simple. But no, she went out straight away and attacked. And this is deliberately designed and clearly by sanction by the BBC as well to stir up shit again right at the end. It's disgusting. It is the shit that we've had to put up with. More, a lot, but some of us more than others, has just been unbelievable. And as you said, the BBC could have stamped on this, but
no, and it doesn't matter how much abuse anybody's received. At the end of the day, it should never have happened at all. It should never. And you're right. If she had come out and said they'd done the right things, like Shooty, I'm being honest, there still would have been a backlash. Would have been a bad no. They would have been a bit more sympathetic towards her because she was saying and doing all the right things. But she chose to put on the battle clad and to battle this fandom. And you know what? As I said, the backlash to me was justified. Yes, if she was sent death threats, which I highly doubt, because why wasn't this brought up before? But if she was, it should be called out. Those people should be held responsible and police action should be taken. Absolutely.
Go to the police. Don't sit there and blame and make it so. All this does is by making that claim without any evidence whatsoever, just sets off your little attack dogs on Twitter and social media to go and attack other people and bully them for doing nothing, right? Yep. We'll get attacked now for it, even though we didn't send any death threats or any such nonsense.
Nope.
Right? But we'll still be blamed.
Now. Here, I'll give you one. I was told just now, right? And this is all down to you, Whittaker. Right? Now, it's nothing threatening yet, right? But this is what's happened, right? So I've retweeted. So someone says, they've deleted their tweet. Okay. See,
what
this
a surprise. What a
surprise. So someone has told me to F off, you twat. How mean can you be? Give it a effing rest. All because I said this. Oh, look, typical. Dismiss the genuine concerns of fans and play the victim. Fuck, this toxic woman is gone. Right? Now, that's my opinion, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not, it's over the fact that she did the article and I read it and I know what it said, right? And I know she's talking through it, so I'm entitled to that opinion. But then, okay, how mean can you be? Give it a rest is not too bad. But then I responded back, and because I did, I was told to F off, you twat. Now, they probably won't be happy with that because I'm basically running rings around them. So what will happen is then they'll send me a nice little DM and say, well, I hope you die. Or some mad shit like that, as it always does.
Standard response. Standard.
Yeah, and they block you. Always when you speak.
Oh, straight away.
But by the way, we got Draw and Jack Rabbit who wanted to come on, so here he is.
Hi, Jack.
Hi.
There's another tweet deleted as well. Oh, these they don't look. I mean, look at. I'll do it. I'll say it again. If you're gonna come at me on Twitter, right, at least have the balls to stand by what you say, right? Because if you block and you run, you look like a coward, right? And then nobody takes you seriously. That's why
they
think
that's winning by having the last word and blocking you. They go, I won that argument because he didn't reply.
Is that how they think nowadays? Well, then they're
really
screwed because I remember winning an argument was like having two people there and have it out. And like then the two of them come to a consensus.
Yeah, but it isn't just one person, is it? I mean, it's you, one person, against against a whole ton of people who will just act on unison because they can't think for themselves. They only act as a swarm.
Yeah,
it's a hive mind. It really is. It's no nuance whatsoever. They're not interested. All they want to do is have power control over what other people think and say, and that's all they've ever been about.
Well, let's hear what Jack has to say about it.
Yeah, come on then, Jack.
I'm not only here because I want to hang with you guys.
Oh. No, you've got to fix your. You've got to fix your mic. You've got to fix your mic. You're cracking up.
Yep.
Same better?
Nope.
No, it's interference,
it's cutting in and out. Don't know what's happened there.
Oy. Well, yeah. So while we're waiting on Jack, anyway, look. At the end of the day, as I said, I've no sympathy for her whatsoever, right? No. But if she has been sent to death threats, which I say there's no evidence of because she's never actually mentioned it until now, but if there is and you see that kind of behavior or you have, report them. You know what I mean? Because it's wrong.
To the police. I fully support that.
But again, Whittaker going to the newspapers, again, okay, our fans have misconstrued what she's actually said, but she went to the media. I mean, why didn't she go to the BBC? And if she did go to the BBC and BBC ignored it and didn't make a statement on her behalf, then that's even disgusting that they didn't back her up.
5 years she's had to talk about this, and only now that she wants to talk about that. Now that she's finally fucking off. Now that she's leaving, she wants to shit on the fandom one last time.
Oh, publicity stunt. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've seen it. I mean, what was that actress who played the one in Star Wars who got bullied, and Disney immediately came out to her defense straight away. This is wrong. She said it straight away. The company Disney were right there. It's wrong. We back our our actor. Blah 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 blah. But this has never ever happened at all. Nothing's come out. Nothing's been said. So the only reason this has been done is to pour petrol on the fire just before she goes. It's so childish and pathetic to be
classless.
It is. It's no stuff.
It lacks any class at all. It's just simply done in order to send her attack dogs one last hurrah.
Right.
Yeah, well, you can do that all you want, Miss Whittaker, because I'll tell you what's going to happen.
Trashy behavior.
Because this is what's actually happened. For 5 years, we've been able to withstand everything that these fans have thrown at us. And if you think that in this final week that we're not going to be able to hold out this final week, even though we know that you're gone, you've got another thing coming. All you've done there now is sent your own little sheep to slaughter. It's like lambs to the slaughter. That's all you've done, actually. Because if you think now fans are going to put up with this the final week of being attacked and being told that they're horrible people because they didn't get behind your doctor, well, you've got another thing coming. Yeah.
How many times does this tactic work? How many times does it
Zero.
work? Never works. Every time we see this, we've seen it with Rings of Power. We've seen it with Star Wars. We've seen it with She-Hulk. We've seen it with G4. We've seen it with just so many, right? I can sit and reel off a list if I can just think of them off the top of my head, but there's a ton, right? Every time that someone from one of these shows comes out from their fucking ivory tower onto the balcony looking down their nose at us and goes, oh, I'm suffering so much from this horrible experience that I've been paid a shit ton of cash for, even though I fucked up the entire fucking show.
Yeah, that's what baffles me.
It doesn't work because the fans just look at that going, what the fuck? It wasn't me. Yeah, I'm going to be the one who gets blamed for your failure. But because they can't hear us from all the way up there, can they? Because they've got the voice, they've got the media, they've got the fan crazies to attack dog for them. We are powerless to be able to actually state, wait a minute, we're the customers here. We don't like your product. We think you're shit. That's just the fact, right? That's just the way we perceive it. And the audience figures bear that out. So I'm sorry. You failed, not us. Take responsibility and fuck off.
Yeah, but isn't it great? But isn't it great to have the ultimate cop out? It's all with these people. It's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Always.
It's always somebody else's fault. They've
Projection.
got to blame. Well, it's like now, when it's like, we'll take like the Little Mermaid. You hire a black actor, you have automatically installed a defense when it goes wrong. Oh, well, it's because you're racist. Not the fact that it's a pile of junk.
Divisive. It's purely
exactly.
divisive.
It's done on purpose, and it gives them the get out clause. And it's wonderful that they can make all this stuff, and they've always got a ready-made excuse, and they always blame people because they just won't watch the crap anymore. We're sick
if only
of
they
it.
put as much work into their woke casting as they did with actual stories.
Exactly.
If they put as much effort into that as they do with their casting and their little arguments on Twitter that they can, sum up. I mean, that would be better. I mean, look at how the House of the Dragon, right?
That's awesome.
Had black actors cast in fundamentally what is
European but
folklore
the reaction to that, when everybody saw the photographs, they
show.
thought, oh, here we go again. But then when everybody sat down to watch the show and see that these characters were actually fleshed out, and this is what we keep saying, we've nothing against black people or LGBTQ plus people or any of that. All we want is that if you bring these characters into a show, you fucking respect them. You give them character development. You flesh their characters out like they have in House of the Dragon. Exactly. Yeah. And that's why those characters in House of the Dragon work, because they're fleshed fucking out. That's all we've ever asked for.
But when they started to see their positive feedback, what did the actors in the show do? Praise the fans and say thank you.
That's it.
That was engagement.
Novelty.
Thanks very much.
Works.
Yeah, it works. Thank you very much, fans. I'm so glad that we're doing a wonderful show for you. Thanks for all your support.
And you know what that means? Season 2, they'll make an even bigger effort.
Of course
because they want to please fans even fucking more, because they know they have a hit show on their hands now. Exactly. And that's how you fucking do it. If you've got a hit show on your hands, it's because you're doing all the right things. So everybody else should take that as the model. Stop fucking trying. I said this and I'll say it again. You need to stop trying to make these franchises to appeal to everybody. They'll appeal to the people that are fucking fans of the fucking and interested in the IP. That's it. If you do that, you'll be onto a winner. RTD was able to do it in 2005. He could pull the same trick again. Now he actually can. I believe he can. Whether he does or not now is a different story, because this week I think Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall are determined to make sure that the fandom is in uproar before they do leave.
Yep.
And this is exactly what they've done, right? Because we're talking about it now. We've got our fans fucking online now attacking anybody that has come out and said a negative thing about her. I don't give two flying fucks whether you give a damn if you are upset with my opinions on Jodie Whittaker. The bottom line is she's the level of the Hollyoaks, and that's her level of show, right? She was never a leading lady for Doctor Who, and that's the bottom line. Now, if you had got in a different actress and a different showrunner, this may have worked. I still would have had my doubts, right? But you got Chris Chibnall, right? You got someone that's fucking driving a fucking train, yeah? And it's heading towards the end of the fucking tracks, but there's a gap, and it's going to go over the fucking cliff. And that's exactly what fucking happened with this era. Because you got the wrong people in, and you did it all for the wrong reasons. Her casting was done for the wrong reasons. It wasn't done for the fact that we just want to change the gender of the Doctor because we want to further the story. No, we want to change the gender of the Doctor because we want the little girls to look up to a Doctor. Little girls were already looking up to a Doctor. There were plenty of female fans in this fandom before she came along, and they'll still be here after she's gone. If Anton, I would actually say that she's actually probably got rid of a lot more female fans have actually left the show because she took over.
Can I just read this quote again, and then we'll let Jack have a speak.
Yeah. Sorry, Jack. Can we have you fixed your audio issues? Just say something there, and we'll see if you're fixed. No, what you're probably going to need to do is you're probably going to need to leave with your earphones in, and then come back in. Maybe when it's refreshed, then you might get somewhere. But leave your earphones in when you're coming in. When you're coming into the studio, make sure you have your earphones in, right? Don't have them out and then put them in. Make sure they're in before you come back into the studio.
Okay, so I'm just going to read this quote from Terrence Dicks. Terrence Dicks, who was obviously one of the greatest script writers, editors, and all-round great guy from Doctor Who's past. And he said in an interview, if you're concentrating on putting across a political message rather than on doing a good show, I think there is a danger. Maybe you can do both, but it could be hellish difficult. And I think maybe there's a danger that the show wouldn't be as good as it could or it should be, because you're not looking at the right aims.
Exactly.
This was the problem with Chibnall's Doctor Who, and this is the problem with a lot, if not an awful lot, of the current day franchise situations, because they are all been colonized by these activists who only see the political 2022. We've got to think about how things are today rather than, and it's just like, no, people want to escape the current day. They want escapism. They don't want to be reminded of your crap politics, which are infesting absolutely everything with the level of a fucking, brainless 12-year-old. Right? We're talking about people who have an unevolved position in reality, frankly. They're delusional. They're presenting everything in such a flaccid, ill-conceived manner, and everything is the same political message over and over and over again. It's tedious. It's boring. It's trash. It's divisive. It doesn't speak to anybody other than a few elitist scumbags who share the same political views, and to hell with everyone else. You're just squatting over everything good and turning it to shit because you're shitting on it and you're full of shit, and it's all nonsense, and it's all based on completely erroneous data. Okay? So when we're talking about political messages, of course you can put political messaging in stories, but you do it using allegory, metaphor,
yes, exactly.
all these creative tools. You don't just slather on, these political things and whoops, the glass ceiling and all this other really on the nose bullshit.
Exactly.
Right? We're tired of it. And I'm sorry, not everyone is a political activist, and not everyone wants to be. Thank you.
No, but Patrick Stewart, just before we get in, but Patrick Stewart saying that Picard he's a fucking idiot as well. Anyway, Jack, have we got you? Have we got you?
Does it sound okay?
No, you're absolutely. I don't know what's going on here, but it's absolutely awful.
It's probably my connection.
Yeah, it's just like
dropping out.
Yeah. Don't know what's
I don't know. The only other thing I can suggest, Jack, is if you're listening, is do what John does, Real Super Doctor. You might have to reset your internet, knock it on and off.
Yeah, switch it off and on again.
Switching on and off like IT crowd. How can you be the victim of a backlash when you made sure the show would piss so many people off?
Absolutely true. Yeah, absolutely.
Well said.
Spot on.
That's the whole thing. You cannot come out now and start crying when you facilitated in all of this.
It was a deliberate attack from the start. And the way that Jodie Whittaker came out slamming anyone critical was exactly the sign of their attitude towards this fandom. If you don't like it, don't watch our show attitude. And you know what? We stopped watching your show en masse. And you still don't get that. And it's remarkable to me. You came out swinging, knowing that this was divisive, knowing that this wasn't a popular decision, and knowing that this would upset an awful lot of people. Male, female, gay, straight, whatever. Not everyone thinks on a monolithic scale, okay? You came out, you deliberately tried to put everyone in boxes and say, those people over there are toxic fanboys, and they are bigots, they are sexist, they are this, they are that.
Hold on
deliberately.
Yeah, I know she did, but hang on. Real Super Doctor is saying that if you reset your browser, it's down to the cookies, etc. Jack, you could try come back on again. Your connection is very bad, but if you do what John has suggested or do what I suggest, it can help.
Work. Yeah, it might work.
It will work. So if you want to come on and give your point of view, please do. Like, I don't want you thinking that.
Failing that, if you want to leave any points in the chat, then we can read them out. Maybe if it's
if it's too much bother. But you're more than welcome to come on. If you want me to send you the link in Messenger instead to see if that works, actually. On Twitter. I'll send you the link again on Twitter.
He's on his phone. That's what's causing the problem.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, phones are bad because you get what happens with the phones. You get an echo, the feedback. You have to use your computer. Yeah. But whatever you wanted to say, if you wanted to, as Lee said, put your comments up and we'll throw them up on the screen there and we'll discuss them. So whatever you have to say about it, just do it there. I got some new headphones coming, and Mike says.
Does that mean we can get Tiggy on? Maybe Tiggy.
Tiggy is coming on. Well, Tiggy asked me if they want, because just in case people think that I'm not actually looking at their messages. Tiggy did it in one of the threads where we have the watch alongs up, or the review panel asked if they could come on. So yeah, if you're ready to go Sunday, you're more than welcome. We've got another guest coming on who used to be on the channel as well. That'll be popping into both streams because they've got to do their own as well. But they have said that they will come in and spend maybe 10-15 minutes on each stream to give their opinion. So that's something. So yeah, look out for that on Sunday. And if you want to join and you still haven't got in touch with me, you have until Friday. After Friday, then I don't want you coming to me on Saturday and say, well, can I join? I've been telling you now since last week. So if you want to join, you've got until Friday to let me know. Send me a DM. You just follow me on Twitter. Some of you just follow me on Messenger. Or as I said, go into the 2 streams that are there that are available and up on YouTube right now and leave a comment and say that you'd like to be part of it. And I'll put your name down. Because a couple of people have already come to me, as I said, and I've reached out to a couple of people as well. It's annoying having these issues with StreamYard. The last time I done it, the browser wiped everything. Well, the thing about it, I don't know why I'm not having problems with that. My computer is got its last update last year, and it's still working fine. I haven't had any issues. I think it might be just the internet, if I'm being honest with you, because the internet's been very spotty. I think all that needs to happen is just knock it on and off. But he is using a phone as well, which is awkward. Phones are awkward to use. But let's see if any of these comments. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't even know you guys were on. Just got back from work.
That's all right.
Okay.
Fair
well,
enough.
I'll tell you what, Jack. If you get your computer booted up, you still have a few more minutes. So if you get your computer booted up, we'll still bring you on. So boot that computer up if you can, and then you can come on. I haven't figured out how to watch it yet on Sunday. I don't have cable anymore, and BBC streams only work in the UK.
Primewire.id. If you go primewire.id, and you can actually get stuff on there on the old if you use Opera, Opera and get PrimeWire ID, and you can actually watch any TV program and any film from anywhere in the world. Free advertising. There you go.
Well, Jack, okay, Jack, that's fair enough. But look, we'll see you over the weekend anyway, because you will be coming on, so don't worry about it. So we'll see you the weekend, and if you have anything to say about this before we start their watch along or whatever, or wherever panel you can. Because I suppose people are still going to bring that up on the night as well, because obviously she'll be left and people will bring up the fact that she tried to play the victim again. So you'll get an opportunity, trust me. And as I said, everybody who wants to come on is more, once we have room, we're more than welcome. And some won't be staying permanently, so there'll be rotation done as well. So if you want to come on, don't be shy, give us our opinion. Because it'll be the last time. Remember, after Sunday night, we're done. We're done. It's RTD all the way now. No more Jodie with a top. The only thing that we will be following up on is, as I said, we'll be doing that stream for everybody else that didn't get a chance to speak. But we'll also be doing a stream on, obviously, the figures, the ratings. And that'll be it then. Because that one will be interesting. That'll be the one, but that'll be the last one. The video on the ratings will be the last one. And then that's it. It's fully to RTD2 then. Done. You still doing your mental health stream? We are. The only reason why I've put it off, because I don't think it's a good idea right now with all the nonsense that's going on. I think we should do it after the fact, and maybe as a way to kind of send a message to the fandom that this can't happen now, this time around for this era, and frame it that way, but still get people on, because we tried it and you seen what happened, right? And it didn't go well, and I was pissed about that, and I'm still pissed about that, because these fans, this is what I mean, they're not even fans, right? They've already proven what they're all about. We decided we want to talk about a very serious issue in this fandom, and what did they decide to do? Bully and harass the actual stream where we were talking about mental health.
Be kind, they say. Be kind, they say.
Kind. Be kind.
Be kind. It's like, no, I can't be kind to my abusers. So,
exactly.
no, thank you. I'll be kind to people who show kindness themselves.
Well, don't worry.
I will not. I only react to the bullshit nonsense that we get. I don't go looking for this. I don't.
Anyway, Jack has a complaint to make. Yeah. Anyway, what will be happening though is to make sure that it's fair, right? Everybody being in the studio, but not everybody's being brought on at the same time, because that would be just chaos. So what will happen is everybody will get a few minutes to give their initial opinions on the episode, and then we bring everybody on and we have the big debate. That way, everybody's getting their chance. Nobody's speaking over anybody or anything like that. And that includes me. Yeah, you know what I mean? Nobody is the host. No, but I won't be, because I won't be giving my opinion on it until I do my member stream. That's different. I won't be giving an opinion.
I'll let you
off. So I'll be just hosting, but everybody will get their opportunity to come on for a few minutes on their own to give their own initial opinions, and then we'll have the big discussion then at the end when everybody is on. And that's how we're going to do it. So everybody is going to get a chance to speak, and Lee won't be interrupting, or I won't be interrupting.
Yeah, right.
Right. It's not going to happen. We'll see. Well, the first time it happens will be yellow card.
No, got the cards are coming out.
Second time it happens, it's a red card, and you're sent off for 5 minutes.
Oh, sin bin time. Into the sin bin.
Into the sin bin. That's how it'll work. Yeah, that's it. So join us on Sunday for that. It's going to be cracking. We're going to have fun as well. And there'll be plenty of alcohol consumed.
Oh, God, yeah. Oh, God, yeah.
Because we're going to need it. Yes. We're going to need it.
It's the only way to cope with watching this dire performance.
Yeah, especially with having our den in the back of my mind. You toxic white male. You toxic white male.
Yeah. Which, I tell you what, we could send one for ourselves and say, hey, Jodie, it was terrifying for us as well. Not only did we suffer the abuse,
terrifying.
We had to watch your shit as well, just to, rub it in.
That's what I mean. It's called us fake fans, right? But they call us, they say that we're fake, we're toxic, we're this, that, and the other. We're not really Doctor Who fans. Well,
only
if I really wasn't a fan of this show, I just want to make one thing clear. If I really wasn't a fan of this show, I wouldn't have put me through 5 years of
I got beaten up. I got beaten up at high school for going to a summer fake dress as the 7th Doctor. That was back when being a Doctor Who fan meant almost bad. Instant death, right? Because
God, yeah.
You were bullied like you wouldn't believe. It was that unpopular and that mocked by the vast majority of kids at school. I stood up to them. I went there. I got beaten up for it. I still didn't care because that was my love for the show. And I'll tell you, if I ever hear anyone tell me that I'm not a fan, I'm just gonna laugh so hard in their face. I don't give a shit what these people say. They are lunatics, they are losers, and they are fucking ballless and soulless sacks of shit. And I have no interest.
You sit on the fence. You sit on that fence. Don't hold back, will you?
I'm being a wallflower.
Yeah, you're being a wallflower. Just stop. You can let your true feelings out, mate. You can let
Look,
the
at
true
the end,
I'm being demure.
that actually used to bother me. I'm the opposite to Lee. I mean, when someone used to call me a fake fan, I actually took that to heart because I'm not. I've put in so
It's
much
laughable
into this. Yeah, it is now. I mean, but it's not just look. It is. Gobby is right. Essentially, it is just a TV show. But in saying that, for some people, it's more than just a TV show because it was handed. It's handed down and it's passed down, and I think that's where we're coming from as fans. Like we do have that emotional attachment to it. So for us, we do feel it a lot more, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying nobody's a better fan than nobody because they feel it more than others. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say, for me, watching this era has been a very difficult experience. And it's been a bit of a heartbreaking experience, and obviously it's overflowed a couple of times while we've been doing live streams.
Just a couple. Just only a couple of times it's overflowed. Really?
Yeah.
Just two?
just several. Yeah. But in fairness, though, it has been heartbreaking watching the show being destroyed. And she'll never get it, and our fans will never get it. And I thought even near the end, maybe she could sign off somehow on a high, but I don't care now. You know what? That interview now has done it for me. I didn't care going into it, right? But I thought there was still a little bit of me saying, I hope they can go out on a bit of a high for RTD's sake. I don't actually care now. I don't actually care.
I don't
after that interview now, after the way she spoke now, trying to rally our fandom up now, she knows exactly what she did today.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Right. And because of it now, I'm getting people coming onto my Twitter account. Well, you can leave it out, right? 5 years since you have tried to take this channel down, take me Twitter account down. Actually, it's actually celebrated, which was the funniest thing. Lee, you were around for that time because when I came back, the reaction was massive. But do you remember that time, was it last year or the year before, when Twitter suspended a lot of accounts accidentally? They were hacked.
Yeah.
And I was one of them. Gary from Neurotics was another one. It was weird because it was all the so-called channels that were fighting the culture war, which seemed to be getting suspended, right? So it's suspended.
It's like you were on a list.
Oh, fuck no. It's party time. This day will be marked in infamy when Noel the TARDIS zone was suspended. And we were all celebrating. Even Mr. TARDIS put up a tweet and says, well, I don't know how he got suspended because he's always very clever. Yeah, somehow there was a compliment in there, but he never seems to get himself into trouble. But damn, I wonder what he did. Right? Literally 5 minutes later. Because I thought it was suspended. It was like I was looking for the notification off fucking me email. What am I suspended for? Right? And then it came up all over Google. Twitter's being hacked, account suspended. And when I came back and I announced I was back. Oh my God, they were devastated. I still have that video where they were all celebrating, by the way, folks, up on the channel. So maybe I should remind you of how pathetic they were, right? They actually thought I was suspended. They were literally celebrating, right? They were saying disgusting, vile things about me. And 5 minutes later, it was literally 5 minutes later. But in 5 minutes, there was hundreds of tweets, right? There was even the hashtag fuck Noel going around. I can't see it. Now I can't see that hashtag because most of the people that used it blocked me. But literally, there might be some people might be able to. But if you literally put in the hashtag fuck Noel, right? You might now. Don't know, but you'll see all the tweets about me.
Now, Drawing Jack Rabbit has a comment there. If you look up 6:25 p.m. and then XSM asked me if that's me with the hat and the ciggy. Yes, that's me in the hat and the ciggy.
So let me see. Even though I came in 2005, everyone assumes that means I like the current show. But to be honest, most of us who loved RTD's first era hate the show now. Yeah. And I went back and fell in love with Classic Who. And that is actually...
There you go.
And that is the majority of fans in 2005. the ones that decide to stick around and defend this current era that were around in 2005 is still around now. They all had an agenda, and they all gained personally from it, from the likes of what was the Time Ladies, right? One in particular, Time Lady, who has caused an awful lot of trouble in this fandom and wrote stupid articles how the timeless child almost fits into canon. Yeah. These people help facilitate all of this. She even questioned Big Finish. How many female writers have you got working for Big Finish? Who cares? And I said it in the video at the time. I said, who cares if Big Finish is good? Why does it matter whether there's a lot more women writing it or not?
Doesn't matter.
Why does it matter? It doesn't. That's the point. It doesn't. But to her, it did. And I actually pulled her up, and that's why she ended up blocking me.
We need more POTs, people of talent.
Yes, exactly. People that can actually write would be nice. Yeah, it'd be all right. Yeah, it'd be nice. Make a change.
I don't care who you are, what you believe. Write a good damn story. Cast a good damn actor. I don't care. Right, I just don't want to be lectured at. I don't want to be told I'm a toxic, evil person because I don't share your particular brand of ideology or political beliefs or whatever. I don't care what your political beliefs are. I got friends from all walks of life, from left and right, up, down, you name it, and that's the way it should be. You know, back in the day, no one really knew who anyone voted for or what their political points of view were. It was often considered rude to talk about people's politics.
Well, it was. Religion. It was, and I still think it is. No
one bothered because we just got on. You know, you might disagree on certain things, you might agree on other things. It doesn't matter. You're a human being.
But you know why we didn't focus on those things? Because life in general was shit. So we didn't need to worry about politics and politicians and who was voting for who and having a go at who was voting for who. None of that mattered. What mattered was we came together as a community, as a society. But people are determined to separate us, to put us all into little categories and little boxes. And, you know, we're going, as I said, we're going backwards as a society. They want to put labels on us all. Remember, the Jews had labels on them. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay? Black people in fucking America had labels on them. Right, as you said yourself there, members of the gay community had labels on them. Right, we're going back to this mentality. Everybody wants to put labels and put us in the right little box. No. I refuse to go back to a bigoted world. Right?
Yep.
Do you know what? For all that fucking stick the patriarchy gets, I have to fucking say we haven't done too bad. Up until now, until the leftist lunatics took over.
For these people to claim to be progressive, they sure do love their tribalism.
Yeah.
How is tribalism progressive? It isn't. It's a delusional state that they've put themselves, a fugue state. It's not real. Okay?
Exactly.
You can't say it's progressive by being so... backwards, frankly. But anyway, Lindsay Kane Wally says, I can't believe she is charging £80 for an autograph at the London Comic Con when Colin Baker is only £25. I know Tennant and Smith are charging more, but they are worth it.
Yeah, and listen, you know, absolutely, that's something else that I am going to bring up is all of these Comic-Con prices and how she can think, you know, because in fairness, I think that's a cheek. But Christopher Eccleston charges the most. Just want to make that clear, though. He's the most expensive, and he's the big. In fairness, though, he's the bigger bitch than Whittaker is because he doesn't stop. And he is. In fairness, Whittaker has our faults and our flaws and stuff, right? And okay, she didn't help herself with Doctor, but compared to Bleeding Eccleston, she's a fucking saint. Trust me. That man just doesn't stop. He is worse than a woman. And I know that, look, I don't care if it comes across as sexist. It's not sexist, right? Women moan, right? If people have a problem with that, who gives a shit, right? But he's worse than a woman for fucking moaning. People will say, I'm worse than a woman for moaning. Yeah, I am. Absolutely. I can embrace it. But this whinge bag needs to stop. But he charges the most anyway. But we will actually get into that and what doctors actually charge and stuff, because I think that's an interesting topic of conversation to have. But look, we're going to leave it there.
I'm waiting for Cheryl to come out. I'm waiting for Cheryl to come out with a frying pan.
No. She won't. She's alright. Anyway,
guys, I've got to
go and feed the kids. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up now, because I did say another hour, and we have gone the hour.
But no, they're screaming for food now.
So he's going to do the fish fingers, beans, and chips. Pizza and all that bollocks, because that's what kids love. But before you do go, Gobby, you know what to do. Do your channel shout out there and let everybody know where they can find you. Watching.
Yeah, as I say, as always, I'm on everything as Gobby Guy, except Facebook as I'm Guy Gobby, because some arsehole Nick Gobby Guy.
I love the way why don't you just put Gobby Guy 2 or something? Put a number.
No, damn it,
the original Gobby Guy. The original Gobby Guy.
Hold on, I can barely spell. Don't make it too long. I'll forget
or
who I am.
Or maybe make it Gobby Guy the First.
Gobby Guy the First. No, I'll leave it as it is. And then I'll see on YouTube, it's Gobby Guy. Yeah, I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible for everybody. I'm on everything. But there you go. So, but I've literally got to run because
no problem. You go ahead.
My son is going to try and kill himself by burning his fingers on fish fingers or something. I don't know. In any case, catch you all later. I'm glad I popped on. And by the way, I should be able to let you know on Friday whether I'll be able to do Sunday.
No problem. Yeah, you told me it's and I have a space reserved for you anyway, so don't worry about it.
But I'll let you know, as soon as I know, mate, you'll know.
No problem. Thanks,
excellent, guys. It's been brilliant as usual. Oh no, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I shall look forward to catching you in the next one.
Yay. See you soon.
So from the shed of dread to
the kitchen of fucking nightmares.
To the kitchen of disaster.
I was going to say kitchen nightmares, but fuck, I put the kitchen of nightmares. I shouldn't just say kitchen nightmares. Fuck, I wrote that one. Go on.
I'm going. Any case, see you later, guys. It's been a pleasure. Bye. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Catch you later. Ta-da.
Ta-da. Ta-da.
Now, Gobby's channels are all being put in by PD Rich, so if you haven't subscribed to his channel, please do. And that just, before I bring you on to Lee, actually, that just reminds me. So, over the last couple of days in particular, and I just have to acknowledge this because it's been absolutely brilliant. So, over the last few days, I've received an apology. But I've also gotten other people wanting to thank me, and the person that actually sent me the apology as well also thanked me. But I have a lot of people coming to me lately. I don't know why, but it's like as if I'm dying or something. But it's like, but people coming to me and telling me what the channel has meant to them and thanking me for giving them the courage to do what they do, and others obviously have been thanking me for sending subscribers their way. Look at right, as I always say, right, I find it hard to take praise. Lee even gave out to me one time, just take the praise. I don't like it, right? I never have. But I will say this, the one thing I am proud of is that we were able to bring a lot of people together, right? It's the one thing that I can say about this channel, no matter what's said out there in public and how toxic they make it out to be. We know that's not true. And we have brought a lot of people together in one common what's the word I'm using? One common
don't say purpose, for fuck's sake.
Well, I was going to say purpose, but it's not a purpose really. But we all came together because we saw the show that we loved being destroyed. But for those people thank me saying I gave them the courage and stuff like that and gave them a voice. No, I didn't.
Well,
You've had that already.
You amplified their voice.
Right. Okay. If I facilitated in some way, all well and good. Right.
Well, at least someone is amplifying these voices, because the mainstream media and the BBC certainly aren't. So, we have to get.
So I just want to thank you all. Because, without you guys, yous make this channel what it is. Yous make this community what it is. I just maybe helped facilitate it all by setting up the channel in the first place. But everything else that's happened, I'm not taking credit for. Right? We all came together. We all got to know each other because our show was being destroyed. Yes, there wasn't any channels out there that were giving fans a voice. And that's the one thing I am proud of. We did give fans a voice. And if this was all to end tomorrow, that's the one thing I can hold my head up high and walk away and be proud of, is that we gave everybody a voice. But remember, you all had that within you yourselves to begin with in the first place. Right? So, again, it does be hard for me, but I will say thank you. It's been nice to hear those nice words, especially at a time now where I've been getting a load of shit over the past 2 weeks since the BBC decided to announce that we all knew the date, but they announced it officially. So since then, it's been announced officially. I've been getting stick from the usual suspects, right? So to hear those words in between all of that, and to hear those comments and those personal messages that people have been sending me have helped, and I appreciate it all, and I will say thank you this time. But remember, you always have it inside yourselves. You just need to take that step. Anybody can do anything they put their mind to. Remember that. You know what I mean? It's just a pity that these kids today don't actually think like that, because this generation could achieve great things, but the adults around them, who should be ashamed of themselves,
in the heads with nonsense.
have brainwashed them, and we've lost maybe a generation or two of intelligent, smart young people. And that's what I'm sad for. I'm sad for society, and I'm sad for this world that that's been taken away from us. We probably, within those activists and those kids, there are some great people in there, but they've been brainwashed and they could have achieved great things. But a lot of them are going to achieve nothing if they keep going down this path, or their lives will be destroyed by the adults who are supposed to be protecting them. So this is why I'm more grateful for this community and the people that we have here, because we keep it real, and we always have. And people can say whatever they want about me, right? At the end of the day, I'm not a bad, nasty person. Yes, I didn't like this era of Doctor Who, but all I've ever given is my opinion. I've never bullied or attacked anybody. I've always pushed back from being bullied and attacked. And if picking up for myself and defending myself makes me toxic, well, then I wear that badge with honor. I wear it with honor, because I'm not going to sit back, right? My generation especially, we don't sit back and just take it. We stand up for ourselves, and we stand up for what we believe is right and true. And that's exactly what I'll keep doing until the day I die. All right? So Sunday, it comes and it'll go, and I'll move on, and the rest of us here will move on. If you just want to stay stuck in the past and keep trying to settle old vendettas because you think I deserve some criticism because I said bad things about your doctor, or said bad things about the show, well, then that's on you. It's not on me. It's time for you to grow up now and realize that, that people are entitled to have their own opinion.
The
and
world
having
is
your
bigger
own
than your bubble.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Thank you for adding that, because I probably would have actually fucked that speech up. But anyway, bottom line is this, right? Sunday comes, this fandom moves on with or without you. We'd rather, look, I know some people would say we'd rather he has left because of what's happened in the fandom. But if you have become genuine fans of this show, well, then I suggest that you behave yourselves a little bit better in the future, because we're not going to tolerate this for the next few years. It's done now. So get it all out your system these last couple of days. Obviously, Jodie has facilitated this today, right? But get it all out your system, because when Sunday comes and that episode drops, and then when that episode is over, it's done. It's done. The fandom moves on to RTD2, and you have to accept that. And yes, for some years it's going to be sad losing this doctor, and I do feel sorry for you, I have to say, the genuine fans, because I know what it's like to lose a doctor. It's not nice. It can be heartbreaking. So to you fans, I wish you the best for Sunday, because I know it's going to be hard for you. But to the rest of you that bullied, harassed, sent death threats to this fandom, I don't care if you cry on Sunday. I don't care if he's lose the plot on Sunday, and I don't care if he's come after me and others on Sunday. At the end of the day, he's going to be ignored and we're moving on, and that's the way it is. And I'm going to leave it there now and let Lee do his channel shout-outs so we can all get the feck out of here, enjoy the rest of our evening. So, yeah, Lee.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you can find me on the old Instagrams at Aldred Audio,
which is dead.
Pretty dead.
It's fucking dead. I never see you on it, by the way. You say you're on it, right?
Well,
I don't pop in as often, but I never fucking see you on it.
It's there for DMs, really, mostly.
Yeah.
You know, for way to people to communicate with me, and you know, I had a commission coming through it. I'm quite happy with that. I will start posting more stuff when I actually have stuff to post, because I don't believe.
Oh yeah, someone came to me. I should let you know, because loyalty is everything to me. So someone came to me and says, "Oh, we do work for YouTube channels and Twitter accounts. Would you like us to jazz up your channel and your Twitter account?" And I was like, I says, "No." I says, "I have a friend who has done all of this for me. And as I've made very clear, I love your work." So I declined them very but in a nice way. And they were
kind of insulted now, like these people. What are they saying? What are they saying about?
In fairness, though, the reply back off them was pretty nice. They actually said, "Oh, we understand that, but if you ever need any work in the future, drop us a line."
It's tough out there, and it's a very competitive market. And
so what I might do is I might actually, because they followed me channel, so if they have any work, I might just retweet it there. But I wanted to say it to you first, because you obviously, I'd promote you over anybody else anyway when it comes to this sort of thing, because you're very good at what you do, and everybody knows you in the fandom. And I mean, look, all the trailers that we have here, all of the little emojis and everything else that you see, the fucking thumbnails or the fucking backgrounds, they're all Lee. So yeah, that's what I just wanted to say to you, because I at the end of the day, as I said, loyalty is to you, but I didn't want to, I wanted you to know that someone had approached me, because just in case you did see me retweet, I'm not. You know what I mean? No, but that's the way I am. I am, and I would have said this to you backstage privately, but it doesn't matter. Everybody knows what we're fucking like. But no, but they were nice about it. But
sure.
But there is. But if you are looking for any work for your YouTube channel, Lee is the person to go to. Trust me, he'll put in the hard work and the hours, because he did for me. And listen, he's got reasonable prices as well, and they're more reasonable than most people out there. So if you're looking for any commission, any work, send it Lee's way, or let me know. If you can't get in touch with Lee and you want them to do something, let me know, so then I can go and inform him, right? Yeah. And then we can get the two of you then chatting away and whatever, and then hopefully you can work out something. But if you need any work done, Lee's your man. But go on, do your shout outs, because I did actually cut across you there.
Well, my channel is also Aldred Audiovisual, AUDRED Audiovisual, which is one word. So Aldred, separate word, audiovisual, one word. Yeah. So yeah, and you can see all my stuff on there. I am working currently on a commission at the moment, and it's quite involved. So it's a lot of scenes to do to make a trailer for an upcoming fan audio drama from Filmstorm Studios.
You're still working on that, eh?
Nice bunch of chaps. But yeah, they're great. And
Jesus, that's long gone, isn't it? You're working on that fucking how long now?
Well, no, there was a slight change in plan. So
that's what I mean. You said there was a change, so he's had to just do it all out. I know, yeah. But you've really
Which
fucking
happens. It happens.
It does happen, but in fairness, though, you've stuck to it and you do it. So as I said, yeah, you'll see that he's done work on Daniel's channel as well. You'll see all the trailers. Obviously, you see them here, but if you want to see them on his channel, go on. The more views he gets, the better as well. Share those trailers directly from his channel. I've no problem. Look, at the end of the day, it's his original work. He's done them for this channel, but we're using them by kind permission. You know what I mean? So share the fucking trailers, man. Get his work out there. I do it. I put up all your fucking trailers on YouTube Shorts now. I found out a way of getting the whole video on YouTube Shorts. So I'll throw them all up on YouTube Shorts. But you should do that as well, Lee. You've got YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, but doesn't it crop it weirdly? I don't know.
No, but if you use a video editor, you could change it to a TikTok video, and it brings the whole lot in. Right. It's called Video Guru. It's free. I'm telling you what it is, and everybody else out there. So the video editor that I use to do all my little musical videos is called Video Guru. It's free. It's on the Google store, right? And that's what I use. And you can change the ratio of the video to TikTok, and that gives you the perfect fucking thing to put up on YouTube Shorts. So I only sussed that out a couple of weeks ago because I was I threw up your video. The first time I did a YouTube Short was one year, and I was like, oh, it's cut half of it out. That's stupid. And I was going mad, and I was trying to say, they don't even put up a thing so you can change the fucking ratio, right? And then I noticed, I said, oh, for fuck's sake, it's on my video editor all along. I could have just downloaded onto the video editor, and then so then I did. So that's what I do now. So there you go. So that's what it is. It's free video. You can get a paid version of it as well, obviously with a lot more stuff. But you've seen.
Well, I could probably scan it through, one of my many video editors.
Well, you've got loads of video. Yeah, of course you would, because you work doing that, so you would have to. But I'm just saying, if you want a free one, or if anybody else wants a free one out there, Video Guru. There you go. You can put all your little pictures together, right? And then you can put your own music, like what I do. If you haven't checked out my 2 latest videos, hashtag.
This is not a paid advert.
Good riddance, Jodie Whittaker. We put that video up, and if you haven't seen I Love Jodie Whittaker, the 2022 edition, that's also up as well. Now, we were supposed to have a part 3, but unfortunately the Thing King has gotten is a bit under the weather, right? So we're not going to be able to get the 3rd one done before Sunday. So unfortunately, we've only got the 2, and that's all we're gonna be putting up. So I'm sorry about that, because I know everybody was waiting for the 2nd part of Good Riddance and the 3rd part of I Love Jodie Whittaker, but unfortunately it's not going to happen. But you know what? We're going to be ripping the piss on Sunday anyway, so you'll have a laugh anyway. So come and join us. Sunday's been scrolling across the screen all day. Anyway, we'll leave it there. So I want to thank Gobby for coming on. Jack, even though he couldn't really say anything, but hopefully we get that all sorted out in time for Sunday, and he will be joining us on Sunday, along with Lee, who's here as well. And as you heard, Gobby might be joining us as well. And we have a very special guest who used to be on the channel, who will be making an appearance on both streams on Sunday. And, I'm kind of tempted to tell you who it is, but at the same time, I kind of want to keep it as a surprise, just in case anybody hasn't figured it out yet. But we will have someone on the channel that everybody likes and used to make us laugh. I'll give you a hint. This guest shit on a turtle. Now, if you have been following this channel for a very long time, you will know exactly who I'm talking about. So they will be popping up on both streams because they have their own stream to do. So it's going to be a bit manic. And as I said, they'll be coming in. Then there'll be space for someone else to come in. And PD knows who it is, but he's not going to say Atten. But just don't say Atten. Don't say Atten. If you know what the clue is, keep it to yourselves. But this is going to be absolutely. Do you know what? It's been a while. I'm looking forward to it. I actually am, because anytime this person is on, we always had a laugh. Actually, we did. I was reminiscing about when we had organised that and it was done. I was actually reminiscing about all the streams that we used to do, and how sometimes he would ram through that wall. Yeah, that lion. He wouldn't give a shit. But as I said, don't say Atten. But someone in the chat, yeah, I was going to say stop saying that, but you're like, yeah, okay, we always get one to spoil it. Well done, real super doctor. Fuck's sake, try to keep things under wrap in this fandom as
well. You could have thrown them like a much more like.
Well, yeah, but everybody else was kind of new not to say that, but it's all right, real super doctor. Sure, everybody was gonna fucking find out anyway.
Should be fun.
Actually, yeah, I was actually now that you bring up Bowley, I was actually going to see if he'd want to come up, because remember he doesn't do YouTube that much anymore, but would be interested to see if he'd be interested in coming on for any of the streams. Actually, I wouldn't mind him doing the watch along with me. But I don't think I don't know. I think he watches, because I remember him the last time saying when we did have him on, that he doesn't think he's actually going to watch on the night. He'll watch it when he feels like watching it, like he did with the last two specials. But I'll ask him. I'll ask him. As I said, we want to bring on as many people as we used to have on back in the past as well. So, like, hopefully we could bring on some guests, except the ones that don't like me and fucking stab me in the back, of course. Why would I want to bring them on? Sure. But the rest of them, yeah. Anyway, cheeky plug. I'll be on Dan's and Kodak. Now, yeah. I'm not saying that, but the female representation has been fucking thanks for that, Charlotte. Thanks for that. It's going to be a sausage fest on Sunday. I don't even have any women on it now. I've reached out to one, but unfortunately they live in a country that was battered by a storm, so I have to fucking wait and see if there's any communication. But thank you for that. No female representation. You've really ruined it. I might have to bring a blow-up doll instead.
I'll just have to take some hormones and then say I am a woman.
Well, you do act like a queen sometimes, so I suppose you could take up the mantle. You could take up the mantle. But anyway, all joking aside, yeah, Dan's going to be streaming. There's going to be a lot of channels streaming at the same time. So as an audience, you can either channel surf or decide who you're going to watch. Because remember, all the streams will be there after the fact, and even if you don't turn up on my stream, you can watch after the fact. Same with the others as well. It's just the way it is. But it's gonna be a very busy night. We're gonna have all the American channels as well, Canadian channels streaming. So YouTube for Doctor Who on the finale is gonna be a very, very, very.
It's gonna be fire.
Nope, your token female is busy that night. LOL. I'm saying nothing. Anyway.
Traitor!
Anyway, no. Look, all fairness, all joking aside. Look, you can stream where you want, and if you decide Dan's is the one, fair enough. As Cheryl probably pointed out, anyway, Charlotte probably won't get a word in edgeways anyway. So because of Lee.
Oh. All right.
Okay. I'm only messaging she was talking about me as well. Anyway, but no, as I said, Charlotte will be with us obviously when all of this settles next week then, because obviously we'll have to consolidate figures, and then anybody this overnight I should say, and anybody that wasn't able to come on the panel on Sunday night can come on during the week and give their final thoughts on the episode. So you will hear from Charlotte at some stage about it. Don't worry about that. But on the night she will be streaming with Dan and Co, and we will have our guests here, and then Rabbi obviously is doing his, and he'll probably have his guests. And as we know, Friday Night Tights, well, it won't be Friday Night Tights that night, but it'll be obviously Gary and Co, they'll be streaming as well and having their big panel. So there's lots of streams going on and lots of choices for you, and that's the best thing about YouTube. So yeah, more than happy to let you know what I think on another stream after that night. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So it's no big deal. We will hear from Queen Charlotte. Yeah, but if some of you are impatient and you want to find out what she has to say, well then go and check out Dance. We're all part of one big community, so we all support each other here. And I'm pretty sure they would say the same thing too. So, like, there you go. Anyway, we're going to say goodnight. So thanks to Jack, and I'll see Jack on Sunday. We'll see Lee on Sunday, and hopefully we'll see Gobby on Sunday. But thank you to the lads for popping on, and everybody in the chat for your comments. So yeah, until then, until tomorrow, maybe, if Jodie says anything else stupid, I'll be back. I'm pretty sure there'll be a backlash to the stream later on anyway, but who gives two flying craps? But we will be back. Actually, what day is it tomorrow? Wednesday?
Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. So yeah, we will have our new Who streams. Totally fucking forgot about all of them. We were supposed to do them tonight, but because Jodie Whittaker decided to open her mouth and talk bollocks, I had to come on here. So we'll be back tomorrow then to do our streams. Okay, so if you are around, let me know. Some of you will already let me know whether you are available tomorrow. If not, I'll see you next week for the next one. But tomorrow, Thursday, we've got the members stream, New Who, RTD, where we did the Doctor Dances, didn't we? I think we're on. Yeah, we did the Doctor Dances. So we're on, I think is it Boomtown? Or could be jumping a couple of episodes ahead. I'm not sure. But whatever the next episode is in the serious one of RTD, that's the one we're doing. And then we're here for everybody else then, for Peter Capaldi. And it's Series 9 now. Series 9 of Doctor Who. Peter Capaldi's. Everybody thinks this season is a lot better. And isn't this the one where Missy and Clara come together and the Doctor comes out in a tank? Isn't it? Isn't that the episode? The Witch is Familiar?
Yes.
Yeah. So we start off with a cracking episode with Missy and all. So come and join us for that tomorrow. So we'll be here tomorrow. Right, I'm going to go now. So good night, folks. Enjoy the rest of your night. Say good night, Lee.
Good night, Lee.
And as I said, catch you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Bye now. Bye.
Now, feck off.
Feck off. Fat your money, feck off.
Bye.
Bye.
I think we're going to have to sack Charlotte. I was going to go, but then I said, oh, you made me feel I'm on with Dan again. I'm on with Dan tomorrow. All right, being usurped now. I feel devastated. You should feel bad. I'm only messing. Listen, it's my bad because we're supposed to do it on Wednesday, so don't feel bad. That's why I stopped, because I don't want you to feel bad. Go and do what you're doing. Don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. I'm going to cry to Lee about you now when we finish. But it's all good. I'm only messing. Good night, Charlotte, and enjoy tomorrow. And I'll see you during the week. Don't worry about it. Right. And everybody else, bye.